Earlier, we discussed how to create designs from file, which is a great starting point to jump off, but often you want to get a little bit more granular, and there are a few other ways of creating even pre-made designs inside of DX. The first way to create a pre-made design inside of DX that's not using the design from file is here in Quick Designs. It is a tab up in the ribbon. So if I click here, I have a list of various options for quick designs. These are drag and drop pre-made designs that include basically a catch-all for processing all of the channels found in any file that might be dropped onto the canvas. So for instance, I will do this catch-all DSP and filters. So in here, I have a parameter star and a signal star. We'll get more into what all of the individual elements are, but these star elements allow you to set wildcards or custom patterns for what channels are going to be processed when processing a file. A star in the pattern area will select all channels or all parameters, depending on the element, of course, to process through as an input to DX. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this design and discuss the next way to create a design from a pre-made setup, and that's going to be through the limits file. Limits files can be created in GaugeMap or can be created using a CSV. We'll talk in more detail about those in a later episode. So I'm going to click Build from Limits. And now I can select a limits file here. I have this real data 4 and 5 limits. And that is going to pull up a list of the channels and the parts that I have in my limits. This is going to just generate the input portion of my design. So here you can see that I have my component, then I have my parts, and it's going to organize things into groups so that I can see all of them sectioned out in the viewer by part in a really easy way. So you will note that there is no output side of this design, so I will have to create the rest of my design through the means of dragging and dropping. So here I am going to start with an input here. I have my signals element that I can create, and you can add channels to this by clicking the add button, or you can load them from a file. I'll just do string gauge 1. And then I am going to very simply process that with an FFT. Just going to leave everything set to default for now. And then I can connect these with the connect mode tool here, clicking and dragging. I can also go back to the move mode to be able to move these elements around. A and S are the hotkeys there, so for the rest of this section I will be using those. And then finally, I am just going to output that to a viewer. Press S to select my connect mode. Do that, go back to A, get them evened out correctly. And now I can process a file. That's fine. And now you can see that we have created a design by simply clicking and dragging. You can expand this tray with the expand button like that. It's important to note that batch is under here if you expand that. Again, we'll talk about that in more detail in another video, but that's going to do it for this one.